You were not awake when it happened. The sky still wore its silence. The moon still watched over the world like a solemn witness. And your name, yes, your exact name, was whispered in realms higher than this earth has ever known. In the stillness of midnight, when even the clocks hesitate between ticks, there was a rewriting of fates, and yours was one of them. Archangel Michael stood at the veil between light and shadow, his sword not raised in war, but in warning. He saw it, how a presence, cloaked in envy and disguised as divine favor, dared to place its hand over the book of your life. You were chosen, yes, but the enemy saw it too. He saw the glow around you, the favor you carry unknowingly, and he decided that was too dangerous to let continue unchallenged. Heaven doesn't make mistakes, but it does issue tests, and last night, one such test fell upon your name. It wasn't a coincidence that you couldn't sleep. That feeling of heaviness, that unexplainable weight on your chest, was your spirit wrestling with a decision made in secret. Michael has come forward now, not to alarm you, but to make you aware of what most souls will never be told, that your path was tampered with, but it was not destroyed. There was a man or a woman, someone from your past who still holds a piece of you energetically, who invoked your name in bitterness, casting their resentment like a curse into the divine ether. That energy echoed into the spiritual realms and distorted the alignment heaven had carefully constructed for you. But you must understand this. Heaven always watches its own. Archangel Michael caught the shift before it became permanent, and that is why you are being contacted now. This is not a warning for fear. It is an intervention of light. You are not cursed, but you are at a turning point. And what happens next will depend entirely on what you choose to see and what you dare to let go of. There's a person in your life, or on the edges of it, whose presence appears harmless, but who is spiritually corrosive to you. They are a carrier of spiritual entropy, and being around them is like leaving the gates of your home wide open at midnight during a storm. This person may not even be fully aware of the role they are playing in the enemy's plans, but their energy is being used as a vessel of delay, distraction, and destiny theft. Archangel Michael is showing me a path that was once smooth becoming obstructed, not by external events, but by energetic entanglement. Your miracles are on schedule, but your access to them has been rerouted. Think of it like a divine package sent to your spiritual address, only to arrive and find the house full of clutter from years past. The angels cannot deliver what you've asked for until the interference is cleared. And so this message has come to your spirit first, before your eyes even saw this screen. You were already feeling the friction, weren't you? The strange resistance, the feeling that no matter how much you pray or push, something invisible is anchoring you down. That's because your energetic contract was altered, and this must be undone by your will, your words, and your awareness. Michael says the key lies in a name that will come to you before this message ends. When you hear it, do not ignore it. That person is part of the puzzle, either as the source of interference or as the one who will help you restore what was lost. Be still but alert. Do not reach out to them impulsively. Let heaven orchestrate the next move, for what is about to happen in your life will depend not on noise, but on silence, obedience, and clarity. Michael is preparing a restoration unlike anything you've ever experienced. But before the miracle, there must be cleansing. And that begins now. You may think what happened last night was just another sleepless hour in your already restless life, but heaven does not operate on your calendar or your clock. Something profound shifted while you were looking the other way, while you scrolled through distractions, worried about bills, argued with your own memories, or cried for reasons even you couldn't name. A celestial ledger was opened, and your name lit up on the page, not with condemnation, but with urgency. Heaven had to intervene quickly, because the darkness that found its way to you did not come by chance. It was sent. And Archangel Michael, protector of the chosen, was dispatched not with rage, but with resolve. Your life has always had a different rhythm to it, hasn't it? You fell out of place since childhood. You questioned why people seemed to misunderstand you, why friends turned into strangers overnight, why the people you gave the most to often return the least. That's because your spirit was marked with a frequency that the enemy has always feared. You weren't born to be common. You were born to be catalytic, to break family curses, to walk out of emotional poverty, to defy generational expectations and limitations. But this kind of destiny does not walk freely through life without opposition. Someone near you, someone you trusted, someone whose eyes once mirrored your own, has spoken words about you that were never meant to be heard by heaven's enemies. But the spirit world has no walls. Words travel faster than weapons, and what was said in bitterness, envy, or carelessness pierced through dimensions. A relative, a former friend, an old lover, someone you once shared space or secrets with, has aligned their energy against yours, and whether knowingly or not, their words became a prayer in reverse, a curse, and it attached itself to the timeline of your blessings like a shadow. That is what heaven has been fighting for the last 48 hours. That is why you felt anxious for no reason. That is why you've seen dreams that didn't make sense. That is why random people from your past have been appearing in your thoughts. Those are spiritual indicators, signs that a confrontation has occurred on your behalf, and now the divine realm is waiting on your response. This is not about revenge, it's about revelation. Heaven cannot move further until you do one simple, painful, holy thing. Detach. Let go of the memory, the bitterness, the confusion, and yes, even the love that ties you to that toxic cord. Archangel Michael is not here to make you feel safe in your chaos. He is here to liberate you from it. He says your prayers have reached their limit under the current spiritual contract, and the next level of breakthrough you're expecting will require a complete rewiring of your emotional connections. Someone you care about is spiritually infected, and their proximity to your life is costing you divine access. Think of it like being connected to a divine power grid, but there's a faulty wire sparking behind the scenes. You can't see it, but it's short-circuiting your destiny. That person does not need to hate you to harm you. They may even still smile in your face. But their spirit has been compromised. Their energy is laced with curses spoken in moments of weakness, jealousy, or fear. And now, the heavenly realm must choose between blessing you or protecting you. Because sometimes they can't do both. The angels have surrounded your dwelling. There's a spiritual perimeter around your home. You probably felt it, like something invisible standing at the edge of your room, or dreams where someone is watching you but can't reach you. That's divine surveillance. You're being shielded while a reset occurs in the realm of the unseen. The timeline heaven originally wrote for you was elegant, swift, full of grace, and open doors. But the new timeline, the one that was almost locked in last night, was marked with delays, strange illnesses, emotional fatigue, and financial drought. This wasn't just a detour. It was a sabotage. And the only reason it didn't succeed was because of the prayers your soul cried in silence. Michael heard them. God recorded them. And now, even if you don't fully understand why, heaven is intervening. But this intervention is not a gift. It is an exchange. You must give something up. You must lay something down. A relationship, a secret, a behavior, a repeated cycle. Something in your life right now is holding hands with the enemy. And until you cut the cord, your blessings will continue to walk in circles around your house without ever knocking on your door. Michael is not offering safety, he's offering truth. And that truth is this. You've been under spiritual observation for months, and your timeline was just moments away from being permanently altered. But the angels stepped in. The heavens paused everything. And you were chosen to receive this message not because you're weak, but because you're vital. You were always meant to be the one who changed everything. And now, you finally will. Now, as this divine message settles into your heart, understand that this is not merely a warning. It is an awakening, a call to spiritual action so profound that it demands your full attention. The subtle ways in which your destiny was manipulated last night did not just affect your immediate future, but sent ripples through every facet of your existence. Your relationships, your health, your finances, your purpose. You may have noticed unexplained fatigue, sudden conflicts where there once was peace, or doors closing when you expected them to open. These are the echoes of that attempted rewrite, the shadow cast by an unseen hand seeking to keep you confined within a cage of your own making, or worse, a cage designed for you by others. Archangel Michael wants you to know that the forces opposing you have long been aware of your potential, that what you are destined to become terrifies them because it threatens their hold on the spiritual realms influencing your world. But Michael also reveals something astonishing. You are not powerless in this. On the contrary, you are the catalyst for your own breakthrough, and heaven's timing is perfect, even if it feels delayed or disrupted. What is required of you now is radical honesty, not only with those around you, but with yourself. You must look deeply at the connections in your life, the energies you allow into your space, the words you speak, and the beliefs you harbor. Toxic relationships, unhealthy attachments, grudges you've nursed, or self-sabotaging patterns. All of these act like chains tethering your spirit to the past and blocking the flow of divine blessings. The rewriting of your destiny was stopped, but only temporarily. Heaven's mercy paused the outcome, offering you one last chance to realign before the timeline permanently shifts. This is your divine intervention moment, your spiritual crossroads. You are being urged to sever the cords that bind you to people or situations that dim your light, to forgive those who have wronged you, even if they have not apologized, and to release every burden that has kept your heart heavy. In doing this, you create space for the true blueprint of your life to emerge, the one God designed for you from the beginning, full of abundance, joy, clarity, and peace. Archangel Michael is standing beside you, wielding his mighty sword of truth, cutting through every lie, deception, and fear that has clouded your vision. He is your warrior, your defender, your guide. But even Michael's strength requires your consent and cooperation. You're being called not to passivity, but to courageous spiritual warfare. Prayer is your weapon. Faith is your shield. And obedience to divine instruction is your path to victory. The angels have been preparing the way, removing obstacles invisibly, but now it is your turn to step boldly into the light they have carved for you. Trust that the painful decisions and difficult confrontations you face in the days ahead are the necessary trials of purification. Your soul is being refined like pure gold through fire, and every trial is designed to make you stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your sacred destiny. Do not be afraid of loss or change, for these are the gateways to your new life. What is ending was never meant to stay. What is breaking down was always designed to make room for the miraculous. Archangel Michael's message is clear. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a co-creator with the divine. Your destiny is a living, breathing force that responds to your choices, your prayers, and your spiritual discipline. The rewrite attempted last night was a test of your resilience and readiness. And now you have passed. The path ahead is illuminated by heavenly light, but only if you walk it with an open heart and a willing spirit. Your destiny has not been erased. It has been safeguarded. And as you release the old, embrace forgiveness, and step into divine authority, you'll begin to see the doors that once seemed closed fling wide open. New opportunities, relationships, and blessings will come rushing toward you like a river breaking through a dam. The name you feared would never come back, the dreams you thought were lost, the peace you have longed for, they're all closer than you realize. But first, you must answer this call with action, faith, and unwavering trust. This is your moment, your time, your divine appointment. And Archangel Michael is right here, shouting your name across the heavens, urging you to rise, to fight, to reclaim what is rightfully yours without hesitation or fear. Believe this, receive it, and prepare to step into a life forever transformed. And now that we have reached this final turning point, Archangel Michael is releasing the last veil that has hidden the truth from you for far too long. You have lived under an illusion, an invisible force field where doubts were carefully planted and promises were slowly delayed, not by God's will, but by the interference of those who feared your light. They rewrote timelines in the secret hours of the night, when your soul was at rest and your spirit wandered between worlds. They whispered confusion into the ears of those around you, distorting how others perceive you, making allies question your worth, and subtly turning love into distance. But heaven saw it all. Heaven intervened. Last night, while your physical body slept, your higher self was summoned into the presence of divine beings. And in that chamber of light, Archangel Michael presented you with the truth of what has been stolen. What you saw, what you felt, whether in dreams, restlessness, or a strange emotional wave, was not coincidence. It was a spiritual courtroom, and your case was laid before the throne. The false blueprints meant to reroute your future were rejected by divine order. The sabotage failed, but your consent, your awareness, your agreement in this physical world must now match what your spirit accepted in the higher realms. You must live as someone who has been delivered, who has been chosen, who has been vindicated. No more shrinking to fit into spaces too small for your calling. No more doubting the voice that echoes in your heart when you are alone. The time for pretending you're unaware of your power is over. Archangel Michael is standing behind you with wings spread wide and a sword raised high, not in threat, but in protection. He is guarding your steps because the next ones you take will determine whether you rise or remain bound to patterns that never belong to you. The people who hurt you, the rejections you faced, the delays that wore down your hope, none of those were reflections of your worth. They were spiritual strategies aimed at disarming a warrior before they ever entered the battlefield. But heaven has rearmed you. Heaven has remembered you. And now, the world must make room for what is about to emerge from your life. You were never forgotten. You were hidden. And that hiding was for preservation. You're not here by accident. You're not reading these words by mistake. You are in the midst of divine timing unfolding like thunder, loud, unavoidable, and glorious. The trap set against your destiny has collapsed in on itself. And now, the ones who tried to write over your story are the ones who must watch as you rise with fire in your voice and purpose in your steps. Archangel Michael is not asking you to believe in yourself. He is commanding you to believe in the God who wrote your name in the book of life before time began. Let that belief burn through every lie that said you were too late, too broken, too unworthy. The truth is, you are right on time. The truth is, you were always the chosen one. The enemy saw it, and that's why they attacked early. But what they meant for harm, heaven has turned into acceleration. Expect rapid shifts. Expect sudden clarity. Expect divine replacements. Where someone walks away, something better will appear. Where you've waited in sorrow, joy will arrive like the sunrise, soft, powerful, unstoppable. Archangel Michael is handing you a spiritual key right now. You cannot see it with your physical eyes, but in the spirit, this key unlocks what has been bound. Use it. Open your mouth and declare freedom over every area of your life. Your family, your finances, your health, your relationships, your purpose. Your voice has power, your prayer has thunder, and your destiny has been reinstated in full. No force of darkness, no manipulation of man, no ancient curse can override what God has declared holy. And God has declared you holy. You're not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not broken. You are being restored in secret, to be revealed in power. So hold this moment in reverence. Heaven has spoken. Archangel Michael has delivered. And now, It is your time to walk boldly into the life they tried to erase but could never destroy. Your story begins now, exactly as it was written, divine, undeniable, and protected forever.